Hi collective, it's good to see you again. Welcome if you've been here never before, and if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Chelsea. I go by Cosmic Heart on the internet, and this is a pick a card reading that I am recording for you right now. I found a new favourite spot in the forest, and it's just so peaceful and it's luscious. So yeah, I hope you can hear the birds. I hope that you can feel the tranquility, and if you can't, I'll try and get a microphone or something. But I don't know until I play this back. So we have 3 piles for you to choose from today, and I say we as in me and my guides. That was kind of a slip of the tongue. I didn't really mean to say we, but I guess they want to be acknowledged, which is fair enough. If you found your way to this video right now, my guides and your guides worked together to bring you here. There's a message for you in whichever pile you chose. I just saw 111 in the timer. So I hope that you get the message you most unconsciously need to hear at this time. If you are drawn to multiple piles, that's absolutely fine. So for pile number 1, we have this compact mirror. I know it's flipped, but there's nothing I can do about that. And it says Benidorm on it, and I've got it upside down. It says Benidorm, and it's a cute little compact. That kind of looks really funky. For pile number 2, we have the Cherry Blossom Almost Empty hand cream. That's pile number 2. And pile number 3, we have this rose gold and pink unicorn watch. The time on the watch is 5:15, so that might be a number you're drawn to or you see quite a lot. And it says always be a unicorn. So they are the piles you have to choose from right now. Feel free to pause the video, feel free to stare at the thumbnail a little bit longer if you need to, but I will see you at your timestamp. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose this cute little Benidorm compact mirror, oh, there you are. There I am. That's me. Then this is your reading. So as soon as I was tapping into pile number 1, there was a sense of tranquility. This is before I got to my spot here. The parrots were, so there's kind of parrots all around where I live, and they were going crazy. They were so loud. So I don't know if a parrot is an important sign for you, or if you own a parrot or something, there's that association there. But you might be clairsentient, which is where you can sense extra information. And I say that because I was tapping into this pile and I was feeling a sense of like a cool breeze running across the right side of my pelvis. So I don't know if you're a feminine watching this and you have maybe kind of like so the right side represents the masculine aspect of us, or if you're kind of healing your womb or something, but there was a very prominent sense of like energy passing through the right side of my kind of my womb or my ovary or something. If you're a man, obviously you don't have an ovary, that's fine. Take what resonates with that sort of like energy movement down in that area of your body, and obviously get that checked out if you don't know what it is. I just saw 4:44 in the timer. But yeah, that was what I kind of clocked for your reading, getting straight into it. But also a sense of peace, like there is something quite tumultuous happening, but you are still in a space of deep trust, or you're getting to that point where you are deeply trusting yourself, your abilities, and your guides. And the oracle I pulled for you was believe in the impossible. The blue moon, I don't know what that means astrologically. Maybe you can look that up and see if that resonates for you. But there is forestry here. And this is kind of giving, you know when you put a flashlight on a dark area and it sort of like gets illuminated, sorry. You can't really see it because it's so dark here, but there's like a big bright moon, and the moon obviously represents our unconscious, our emotional side, maybe even hidden aspects of us. So you could be experiencing deep wounds awakening to be released, and I just want to say, if that's what you're doing, well done. That's not an easy thing to do, and there are way less people on this planet doing that than we would hope. And I'm sure you're doing really, really well. And I kind of have confirmation that you're doing really well because I pulled some tarot cards as well. So we started off with the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, which is self-limiting beliefs holding us back. It is us really just sort of like, we're in the desert, we're barren, what the hell is going on? But if we want to take the blindfold off, we fully can. We're not really tied too tight. And our negative limiting thoughts and beliefs are just holding us back from everything. With the 5 of Pentacles, it could be to do with money, or it could be to do with being left out in the cold, you know, they're freezing and it's snowing. You could be feeling emotionally, I'm getting despair, like it could be a despair type of feeling where you're just sort of struggling in every sense of the word. You feel hopeless, you feel helpless, and when you feel like that, I want you to remember that you can't really receive spiritual guidance when you're asking for it from a lower frequency. And obviously that's really difficult to get to that higher frequency if you are dealing with maybe mental health issues, difficult sleep, or even financial problems. Of course it's difficult to get clear guidance because you're not aligned with the heart of an angel, so they can contact you kind of spiritually. You already hold that frequency. You need to just let yourself tap into it. You know, it's not to bypass the fact that maybe in the physical realm you're kind of struggling and you're struggling with your mind, but you have the ability to cut through the bullshit and the fog and welcome in proper guidance. I feel like with that sense of serenity I was feeling when I tapped into this pile, even with these pretty difficult cards coming up in the beginning of the reading, it's sort of like the best way they can reach you, your guides, the best way your guides can reach you is through serenity. And if they bring you that sense of peace, you feel more uplifted and you can really just connect with them better. Your guides are coming out so strongly, okay? You might be kind of new to the concept of spirit guides, or you might not be fully aware of the spirit team you have, and they're sort of like, tell them to get involved with us more. They're sort of like interjecting, like, you know, we need pile 1 to speak to us more. Ooh, I'm actually, yeah, they're kind of like, pile 1 needs us, tell them to get in touch. Call us. And following these pretty difficult energies, we actually have a silver lining, bright side. With first we had the Ace of Wands, and then we had the Ace of Swords. So I mean, it's like brand new beginnings in clarity, in energy, in focus, in a perspective shift, and they're ready for you to sort of take this energy and run. You know, your spirit guides are just so ready for you to take this energy and run. I guess this can be a spirit guide message, because I don't think I actually had a title for this message. Cool, okay. And these are divine gifts from God, the universe, God, Goddess, all that is, the Creator, Allah, whatever, you know, whatever your loving Creator is called for you. It's sort of like here you go, you need this energy, you need this motivation, you need this vitality. There's something about health getting better here, or like shifting out of a difficult spot regarding health, and then sort of like mental clarity. The fog is clearing, the clouds are clearing, you have a clearer crown chakra. You might not have been able to see what the absolute heck was going on with certain situations, how you were going to get out of certain situations, but when you feel into that serenity your spirit guides are sending you, you are going to be able to access these energies so much easier. The difference in the past energies versus these are the past energies. These are the past energies. Sadness, despair, confusion, confliction, lack of clarity, lack of motivation, bottom of the barrel vibes. And then this is the new energy, and it is just you and God, okay? This is just you and God. So on the bottom of the deck as well, I left it as it was. We have the Death card, which is Scorpionic energy. It's as intense as it gets. Transformation, nothing will ever be the same. Anything you want to cling on to is just not available for you to cling on to. You need to build that sense of inner stability, because the physical reality, especially if you're receiving upgrades and you're working on your spiritual practice, to shift your reality, things in the physical are going to be maybe a little bit confusing and conflicting at times, but when you keep the inner vision, you get successful outcomes. Oh, actually, sorry, she's got boobs out. That card is the World card, but she has her boobs out. You've got kind of all four corners of the universe sort of by your side, because you're doing this shadow work, and you're smashing it, even if it feels like you're more so in this difficult Five of Pentacles, Eight of Swords energy. Even if it still feels like you're there right now, you are absolutely smashing it, and just have patience with yourself, okay? Call upon the Violet Flame. The Violet Flame is a spiritual energy that you can evoke. Do a meditation for it. If you trust your own voice and your own abilities, evoke it yourself, okay? If you don't want to do that, or if you'd rather someone else accompany you, because there's plenty of spiritual practitioners who want what's best for you and want to clear your space and clear you of old frequencies, you know, find a video like that you really resonate with, and just allow that transmutation to happen, because we are spiritual alchemists, okay? And at Pile 1, I want you to remember that. it's not always an easy journey, but if you're facing things and you're on really shaky ground right now, you have all of these tools at your dispense, and it's a little bit out there, but when you really rely on these tools and you see how much they transform your life, they're not just going to stop transforming your life because you've reached a certain level of your spiritual path. They want to be utilized, you know. If we're clearing our own minds and our generational patterns and what's so on and so forth, there's things out there that want to support us doing that, and your guides brought you here so that you would know that. And I've just done a lot of channeling there. I feel like I didn't really rely on the cards too much, but I want to remind you of the oracle cards you got. You sensed this with your intuition, that you were going to get this message. Yeah? Believe in the impossible. Faith to move mountains, right? You might be drawn to Bible verses, you might be drawn to things like that bring you comfort, Psalms or what have you. If you've abandoned that interest or that practice or that passion, reignite them. You know, whatever's going to get you balanced and back on track. You've been brought here by your guides to remember that you need to tap back into that, okay? If you've been neglecting yourself in any way, this is a quick little knock on the soul of like, come on, you can stop neglecting yourself now. Pile number 1, believe in the impossible. Yep, that is the message I have for you now. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whoever you are. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Pile number 2. Hello. If you chose the hand lotion, which is cherry blossom, then this is your reading. So first of all, good choice. Cherry blossom smells amazing. So let's get into pile number 2. Okay, so immediately I had tense shoulders, like the burden of life was just on my shoulders at this moment. And my shoulders feel really tight and my neck feels really tight. So there's a stubbornness of giving the weight of the world to your guides, but also a sense of feeling like you're a bit too much if you need support. And we actually, in 2 separate decks, we got 2 Virgo cards for you. And also I really struggled to get the decks talking for you, pile 2. It took so long to get the oracle cards, to the point where my camera actually shut off. So now I'm gonna have to figure out how to mesh together these separate bits of footage, because I took so long, the camera shut off. So that, I don't know if that's sort of like a thing of you sort of taking so long to do something that you're missing opportunities or valuable moments, but that would make total sense with the cards that you got. So you got 2 oracle cards. I'm hearing the song as well. I think it's Maverick Sabre and Georgia Smith, and it's called Slow Down. And I think it's more like a romantic song where he's singing one part and she's singing the other. But the point that was really being brought to my attention was slow down. So I don't know if I feel like I'm even really slow with my words, but there's so much earth energy here. It's kind of like I feel as if maybe you have heavy earth placements, especially Virgo, or you're being guided to tap into a more energetic approach to life and not be such a perfectionist when it comes to the things you want to do or the things you even need to do. Your two cards were emotions are running high, supermoon, some lovely purple there. I'm sorry, it's so dark. I'm in between all the trees. I'm in heaven right now, but it is purple and it does say emotions are running are running high with an exclamation point, so you know it's for real. And we got new moon in Virgo. When is that? I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But it says a time to give rather than take. So either this is an energy you're being invited to embrace at this time to get you out of your head and into your body, to do away with that perfectionist energy, which I know is quite common in Virgo placements, and also to just messily move along. You know, you might be missing opportunities, or feeling like you've missed opportunities because you are just maybe the word stubborn is just so prominent right now, even though I know that's more so associated with Taurus. I think earth energies in general can be so slow and steady and methodical, and sometimes life just unfortunately isn't calling for that. And I'm not sure if this is an energy you're just embracing a little bit too much, and you could be pile 2. You could be my yogis in practice, you could be my meditators, you could be my people who go to retreats, you know, Vipassana meditation, because I was thinking about a different oracle deck I have, and a card that came to mind was called Ease and Grace, and the imagery is a monk and they're sat in quite a weird position, like a position where you really have to balance yourself to perfect it, and in and out of his hands is water flowing, and it's a message about moving like water. Okay, don't be a difficult stone in the water, but be the water that can flow, that can move, that is free to do as it pleases, because water that flows can't be taken down by anything. It can't be moved by anything but life itself. It can't be interrupted, because it will just take the form of whatever's interrupted it, you know. It's a very zen-like, monk-like state you're being invited to embrace, okay? Especially if you're dealing with some difficult emotions at this time. I don't know how many people are going to watch this video, and I don't want to be too specific about that, and you might not even really resonate with this much of the video, but I just saw 555 in the timer because I had to start the video again. There's a stubbornness of, you know, the bottom of the deck, we've got step out of your comfort zone. I don't know if you find that really difficult, but I was thinking when I pulled these cards of, in my mind I was seeing, I was wondering if more Virgo energy was going to come out, which is funny because the first card we got for you out of my tarot deck was the Hermit, which is the card of Virgo. And it's also the card of going within, illuminating the inner spaces, very much like meditation vibes, stepping away from everyone, stepping away from everything, to hear the calling of your heart and your true north. You know, maybe you have North Node in Virgo, which funnily enough I'm pretty sure I do. There was something in the bush. Maybe you're a bit skittish, maybe you're a bit sort of like, let me just see what is going on before I take that step forward. But there is a bit of an invite for you to just take a step, okay? Just to take a step, okay? Feel the fear and do it anyway, all right? Especially if it's to do with any emotional difficulties you're having at this time. You are being invited to rely on those meditative practices, maybe that retreat you've got coming up, or the things you learnt on a retreat you just went on. your guides are heavily pointing you to just to that right now. I feel like pile 1's guides were so kind of like there in my face, and your guides feel a bit more subtle, like they trust you to make more important decisions than you're committing to right now. And maybe you are just covered in distractions right now, because that's the second time I've been distracted. And with the Hermit and then the Ease and Grace card I was thinking of, the inner peace, that inner space, you're being called to it. It's calling out to you. I feel like I can't connect to any of your guides right now because it's within you. Like nothing external to you. It's not that nothing external to you needs to give you support right now. It's more so you're being called to trust your own wisdom, your own body, your own bodily functions, your own gut instinct, your own clairvoyance, clairsentience, whatever clair you resonate with. And I don't know if you have any kind of, I don't know if this is a person, this Knight of Swords kind of coming at you, or if it's just a lot of external energy that's sort of trying to interrupt your peace or something, or if this is just a battle of you and you. Are you being kind of attacked by external energies that are intense, or is this a person who's sort of kind of maybe unintentionally sort of hounding you when you need that time to go within? You know, what is this for you, pile 2? Are you quite an emotional communicator where you maybe have a sharp tongue? Are you trying to go within and figure that out, where it comes from, how you can channel it more productively? I feel like as I'm tapping into you, I'm quite unsure of what I'm meant to say, whereas pile 1, it felt so different. It felt like I knew exactly what I needed to say. It was flowing. The channeling was really just, the flow was amazing, but I feel like I've had so much hesitation tapping into you, and your guidance is truly to just look within right now and clear away anything with this Knight of Swords, slice away anything that is interfering with your sense of personal power and sovereignty and trusting yourself. I saw 1111 in the timer, because you're going to clear away any of this fog with the Ace of Swords and the World. I can't fully show the World because she's naked, but you're going to clear away any of this fog. There's positive outcomes here. There's sort of like karmic cycles ending. This is like a big, you know, the World is the final card of the major arcana. So this is like the end of a big cycle for you, where maybe you are just truly, you don't know what it means to trust your own judgment. And this Knight of Swords could even represent like a guide who is coming in to cut the fog away so that you can access that inner wisdom, that inner guide. It's a masculine energy, so I'm thinking like Archangel Michael, I'm thinking Merlin, the wizard, with his knowledge that can really support you on your path, and any other kind of masculine energies you resonate with that will support you in being more decisive, taking inspired action and trusting your inner voice. With the Hermit as well, definitely Merlin. It's definitely giving Merlin vibes. You carry the light of God within you, pile 2, and it's just so integral that you remember that and you call upon that light whenever you need it to make the best decisions for you and your path. And that way, when you show up for yourself, you have the space, as the oracle says, to give rather than take. I'm sorry, it's so foggy, it's so dark. But you have the power to give from a full cup because you're listening to yourself and your inner voice and that guidance. No more missing out on opportunities, no more missing out on anything you feel like you're missing out on where you're not trusting yourself and you're asking for external support. Keep asking for that external support, but always make sure you are connected to that inner wisdom because you deserve it. And I'm sure you've been through so much, but you have that power within you. You've got Merlin, Archangel Michael coming forward for you, slicing away any of that absolute garbage that is just blocking you from this karmic cycle ending. Give yourself full permission to clear away any of this gunk, any of this mental gunk, any of this mental funk. And the cycle will kind of it'll be done before you know it, It's quick, it's swift. The more you go in and the more you answer your own calling of your heart, it misses you. Your spirit wants you to know information about it. You're safe to do that, pile 2. Yeah, it's highly encouraged. That's the message I have for you. I really hope it resonates. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. God bless, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hi, pile number 3. If you chose, let me get it out of my bag. If you chose the unicorn watch that says always be a unicorn and it has the time 5:15 on it, this is your reading. So I don't know if it's a figurative thing. When I tapped in with pile number 3, I tried to put my ego aside a little bit because if I watch pick a card readings, and I don't really do that a lot, my pile is usually pile 3, so I really have to put myself aside to get these messages through and not immediately project my life experience onto this video, because my pile is normally pile 3. But I started setting pile number 3 up in the other place I was filming, so I'm still in the same area, but this is just a little bit lighter and it was getting really dark there. So it kind of felt really figurative of pile number 1 and 2. It was getting kind of darker and darker because of how I was sort of protected and covered in all of these trees, and now in pile 3 I moved somewhere lighter. But also the energy of pile number 3 was like lighter in general anyway, especially with, I thought someone was coming and I got shy. Especially with pile number 2, because that was very much an energy of overcoming indecisiveness. And you may have come from pile 1 or 2, because some of the cards, they've definitely crossed over into this reading. So if you were drawn to another message before this one, this could be kind of like an outcome energy, because pile 3 feels a lot more light-hearted when I was setting up the cards I was picking for you, and I was tuning into pile 3, see what your spirit guides want you to know. I got the giggles. I didn't film it because I was obviously just in the middle of sort of releasing the other pile and then tapping into pile 3. But I just was, not for very long, but I just burst out laughing. I just burst out laughing for maybe a minute straight, and it was so intense. Like the energy of pile 1 wasn't too heavy, but the energy of pile number 2 was, like I said, not heavy, but there was indecision, there was sort of like mental fog and a lack of trusting myself in pile 2. Pile 3, you guys feel so much lighter and free even. And then I felt like I wanted to cry when I picked this place to film, and I felt like I wanted to cry because this is the oracle message that you got. Again, Virgo energy, so you could have come from pile 2, but some of the tarot cards came from pile 1. So I don't know if every message is going to resonate for you, and it's just a sort of progressive timeline. But we got full moon in Virgo. It says, you are good enough. With your long hair and your little flower crown. Pile number 2, oops, pile number 3. Pile number 3. Your vibe is just the thing I was tapping into. It felt a bit like, is it safe for me to come out yet? That was what I was experiencing. I was feeling a sense of my guides were showing me this mindset of, is it safe for me to come out? I just seen 4:44 on the timer, with the first tarot cards coming out being 5 of Pentacles and 9 of Wands, which is emotional instability, even financial instability, feeling desolate, feeling completely just abandoned, left out in the cold. You could be dealing with an abandonment wound, or you could have recently healed one and done some shadow work. But with the 9 of Wands as well, it's kind of like, is this really, am I going to catch a break? It's kind of giving wounded warrior, you know, sort of like helpless, but I'm not really trying to be helpless, I'm just trying to have fun. But it's like, is it safe for me to release the burdens and trust that fun is here? And I feel like there's been a pattern with all of the readings where the first 2 cards have been quite intense or emotionally disruptive energies represented in the soul, and then the second 2 have been really uplifting. So it's kind of showing where you've gone or where you've been, and then where you're gonna be or where you're heading. And let me just take a breath, because I think I'm getting too involved in pile 3. Spirit guides for pile number 3. What is the message for pile number 3 from their spirit guides? So you're coming from this sense of wounded, dejected, abandoned. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who's on my side. To the 6 of Wands, I'm on my own side, and the Lovers, Gemini energy. So the card of the 6 of Wands talks about getting your due recognition. You're getting recognized for something. You could be stepping out into the public eye, or you could be finally being given that reciprocity back in some kind of way that makes you realise, oh, this is success for me. You know, whether you feel seen by your people or you do that good thing at work and you're recognised for it. Sort of like with the 9 of Wands, I've been thrown to the wolves, and then the 6 of Wands, I came back leading the pack. That's sort of the vibe. And when I first... so I also was channeling a song, and it's The Weeknd, Popular, and it's a song about a woman really wanting to be popular, but that wasn't the tone that was coming through. It was more so like, especially with the 6 of Wands, like you are popular or you're rising in popularity after this period of difficulty. Maybe you carry the energy of a unicorn where you're kind of hard to come by, and you are sort of mystical in the eyes of the people around you, and you are beautiful. Maybe you're really tall, maybe you're quite majestic, and that is not something that goes unseen, excuse me, confirmation burp, by the people you are frequently, by the people you're frequently around. We have the Lovers as well, which is decisions, it's choices, it's making the right choice for you and maybe the other person in the situation. If you have a person involved, a beloved other, a loving connection, it's sort of like your guides want you to know you are heading towards a place where choices are going to be easier for you. Clarity is going to be here. Communication is going to be here. Maybe that balanced romantic connection you've always wanted is... You're maybe giving yourself permission to receive that connection. And I bring it up in a romantic sense because when I was tapping into pile 3, there was at the bottom of my oracle deck, the card was a new romantic cycle begins, and then I pulled the card of the 5 of Pentacles, and then at the bottom of my tarot deck there was the 2 of Cups, and then I split to the Lovers, and then I split to the 10 of Cups, and then I pulled your actual oracle card of you are good enough. So I don't know if you're feeling a sense of like your guides are guiding you to recognize that you are very subtly or very suddenly you're giving a choice of, do you want to move out of this space of loss, emotional loss, this 5 of Pentacles energy, this defensive wounded warrior 9 of Wands energy? Do you want to come out of that and sort of step into this expansion, this success? Are you going to recognize now that you're good enough for that? I just saw 11:11 in the timer. So it's sort of like you're being recognized for the work you've put in by your guides, but also there's something about softness coming through as well. Like, I don't know if you find it difficult to be a soft-hearted person. You might be that kind of person, but in private, or if you really just start opening up to someone, months and months might go by, and it might be only then that it's easy for you to be soft, And if we have issues with self-esteem, your guides want you to remember that when you shift that sense of perfectionism and you sort of let things be good, life's not always perfect, but when you let things be good, you remember your power and you embrace this sense of togetherness and success. there's a sense with you, pile 3, where you're not letting yourself tap into that joy. Maybe you are still going through some of that difficult, last moments of defensiveness or abandonment or financial hardship, and you're finding it difficult to trust in that positive flow or that good relationship or that job promotion, because you're still wondering if you're good enough. But the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. You've come so far, and your guides want you to let a breath out. They want you to take a deep breath, release all of that tension. I feel like there's a saying that's coming to mind. You've mastered the art of survival, and now it's time to live. So that's what your guides want you to know. There's sort of like you are so perfectly guided that anything you're worrying about in the grand scheme of your life is just so minute. Like, they want you to look even briefly at the bigger picture. If you're going through a difficult few hours, few weeks, few months, they want you to really zoom out and remember where you want to go. Remember who you want to be with, the community you have or you want to have. And don't lose sight of that for a few bad moments or, any struggles you're going through or have been through. And they are so gently just coming through, and they want you to call upon them, and they want to give you that support. Maybe even like unicorn races. I think they're like 7th dimensional, and they can really tap you into a sense of safety when it comes to play, when it comes to fun, when it comes to embracing the absolute absurdity of life. And I think your message is you're being called to embrace their loving, gentle, playful energy. There's something about the inner child coming through, where if you didn't get a lot of time to be playful and gentle and curious as a child, you are being, that door of opportunity is presenting itself to you, and you just need to jump through it. Okay, that is what your guides want you to know, pile 3. Let me know if a cute little love relationship comes through for you, or if you find yourself sort of being aware of a divine union coming your way. Let me know in the comments if you want to. I hope you have a really good, it's getting so dark now. I hope you have a really good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. God bless, and I hope to see you in the next one.